mode. That's all for today's program. But be sure to tune in the next week when we have a brand new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature the winner of a weekly contest where our listener compete to browse their own travel story. If you want to share an interesting or funny experience about somewhere to visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your name. The story. Lần 2. That's all for today's program. But be sure to tune in next week. But we have a program new segment called Travel Number. This program will feature the winner weekly contest, where our listeners compete to browse their own travel story. If you want to share interest or funny experience about somewhere to visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We will listen to it and let you and reset your story will be on the show. Lần 3. That's for today's power. But be sure to tune next week. But we have a brand new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature a quickly contest where our listeners compete together. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere you visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We're listening to it every day would like your story to be in the show. Lần 4. That's all today's program. But be sure to tune in next week. But we have a brand new segment called Travel Notes. This is part of the program with probably where we will compete to broadcast their own travel stories. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere you visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We'll listen to it and let you know that we select your story on the show. Lần 5. That's all over today's program. But be sure to tune in next week where we have a new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature in the winner of the contest, where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel story. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere you visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We'll listen to it and let you know if you consent your story will be on the show. Lần 6. That's for today's program, but be sure to tune in the next week. But we have a brand new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature with a quick contest where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel story. If you want to share interesting and for inspiring somewhere visit, enter the contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let you know if you select your story to be on the show. And bye. That's all for today's program. But be sure to tune in the next week. We will have a new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature the winner quickly contest, where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel stories. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere you visit, enter your contest today. Just go to the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let you select your story to be on the show. Lần 8. That's all for today's program, but be sure to tune in the next week. We will begin the new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature in the winner of wiki contest, where listeners compete to progress through their own travel. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere you visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let know you will select your story to be on the show. Lần 10. Lần 9. That's all for today's program. But be sure to tune in next week when we have a program new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature in the winner of weekly contest, where your listener compete to progress their own travel stories. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere to visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let know you if you select your story to be on the show. Lần 10. That's all for today's program, but be sure to tune in next week when we have a brand new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature in the winner weekly contest, where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel stories. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere to visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. You listen to it and let you know what to select your story to be on the show. 11. That's all for today's program, but be sure to tune in next week when we have a new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature in the Quickie contest, where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel stories. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere to visit, we enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let you know if you select your story to be on the show. 12. That's all for today's program, but be sure to tune in next week when we have a brand new segment called Travel New Tours. This part of the program will feature is a winner cookie contest, where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel stories. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere to visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let you know if you select your story to be on the show. 13. That's all for today's program, but be sure to tune in the next week when we have a brand new segment called Travel Notes. This part of the program will feature the winner weekly contest, where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel story. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere you visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let you know if you select your story to be on the show. 14. That's all for today's program, but be sure to tune in next week when we have a brand new segment called Travel's Notes. This part of the program will feature the winner quickly contest, where our listeners compete broadcast through their own travel stories. If you want to share interesting or funny experience about somewhere you visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow the instructions to record your story. Listen to it and let you know if you select your story and to be on the show. 15. That's all for today's program, but be sure to tune in next week when we have a brand new segment called Travel's Note. This part of the program will feature a winner equity contest, where our listeners compete to broadcast their own travel stories. If you share interesting or funny experience about somewhere to visit, enter your contest today. Just call the radio station and follow instructions to record your story. We listen to it and let you know if you select your story to be on the show.